Okay, hello everyone. So is my screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So a very good afternoon to all of you. Hope all of you are well. So today I am going to discuss about a very interesting topic, that is basics of BBS. So I hope all of you know about the BBS. That means the full form of BBS. So anyone can tell me what is the full form of BBS?
Yes, sir. Bar bending schedule.
Bar bending schedule, right? Okay. So these are the contents that we are going to discuss today. The first one is the second. What is bar bending, then we will come on what is bar bending schedule, then the importance of bar bending schedule, and what are the analytical method that we are already discussed in the fourth semester, that is in estimation and costing subject. And after that we will see the some portion of Autodesk Revit, and then we will see how we can use the bar bending schedule using the Autodesk Revit software, and then we will come to the conclusion part. Okay, so let's start. So the first thing is, what is bar bending? So by the name itself you can understand that it is something we are bending a bar, some like that. So this is the process of bending a reinforcing steel. Definitely as bar it is refers to the reinforcing steel into shapes required for reinforced concrete construction, that means the RCC, right? So I hope all of you at least one time you have seen the bending types of bar, that maybe 90-degree bend, or maybe 180-degree bend, or maybe 135-degree
60 degrees,
bend.
sir. 45 degree.
Yes, 45-degree, that means in the case of crank bar. So many types
Yes.
of bar you have already seen in designing of RCC structure, as well as the bar bending schedule in estimation costing subject, right? So we will see what are the details inside this. So this is only about the bar bending. Now we are coming to the BBS, that means the bar bending schedule. So bar bending schedule is a list of reinforcement bars, a given RCC work item, and presented in a tabular form for easy visual reference. So definitely in the when you put the detail to a labor, you need to give the detail in this such manner. That means the details of bar shape, the length of the hooks, and the top length of bar. And there the values are given with respect to the L and D, but when you provide the ultimate result, that means the summary, you need to provide the actual value either in mm or feet inches. Now here the table summarize what are the other details we can see here. The table summarizes all the needed particulars of bars, diameter, shape of bending, the length of each bend, and the straight proportion. That means the details all are given over here. Okay, and yeah, this information is a great help in preparing an estimate of quantities. And also I want to show you that these details, that means how we bend the bar, these total details is given on SP 34 1987, that is the handbook of reinforcement and detailing. Okay, in this particular code you can see, that means how you can provide the reinforcing bars. Okay, now why it is so much important, a very important thing, we are doing the bar bending schedule, and why I am doing this particular bar bending schedule. Look, bar bending schedule is available for cutting and bending of reinforcement, can be done at factory and transported to the site. That means when you make the bar bending schedule, it can be made at the factory. Okay, and then it will be sent to the transported to the site. So that is why it will reduce the time for making the cutting of the bars, as well as it will reduces the overall cost of the construction. Also, using a bar bending schedule for when used for FE 500 in spite of FE 415, that means the grade of the steel is increased. So definitely we need to reduce the total amount of number, or you can say the number of bars. So it approximately saves around 10% more steel reinforcement compared to FE 415. It also improves the quality control at site, as reinforcement is provided as per bar bending schedule. So we are not giving any extra reinforcing bars. So definitely it will make the all over the structure is very much economical. It provides the better estimation of reinforcement steel requirement for each and every structural member. So definitely as we are providing the steel exact amount of as per the design, so definitely it will give the better output as compared to the conventional method. Now, what are the analytical method that we have already learned in estimation and costing classes, that is in the 4th semester, right? So we will see some portions of that particular thing. That means here I am considering a structural member, that is beam. So I will show you how to make the bar bending schedule of beam. Look, the bar bending schedule of beam. So here particularly we are interested with the cutting length of the bar. So as you already know, there are 3 types of bars are there. This one is the bottom bar, this one is the top bar, and this particular portion is the cutting length, that means the crank bar. Okay, so we need to determine the length of this crank bar. So how we can determine? Look, for determination of this length of the crank bar, you need the following data. That means the diameter of the bar, the clear cover, the clear span, the slab thickness, and the LD. LD is the development length, and we can calculate the value of LD using the Indian Standard Code, that is IS 456 2000. Okay, so let's see in the code how we can determine the value of this LD. Then I will come to this particular thing. Look, this is the development length, and here in the diagram you can also see this black marked portion. This is the LD value that goes inside the column. Okay, this is the portion of the beam, but it goes inside the column, and this total length is the LD. This is the development length. And how we can determine the value of this development length? Look, as per clause number 26.2.1 in IS 456 2000, you can determine the value by using this particular formula, where phi is the nominal diameter of the bar, sigma s is the stress in bar at the section considered at design load, and this tau BD, this is the designed bond stress given in the 26.2.1.1, which I have already inserted over here. That is, as per this clause, you can see the tau BD value can be determined for the grade of the concrete. So for the particular grade of concrete, you can see different values of tau BD. Okay, so in this way you can determine the value of tau BD and put this value over here in this formula, and you can get the value of LD. So in this way the value of LD came over here, that is already given by the structural consultant, that is 50D. Now depending on this value, how we can determine the length of this the cutting length of this bar, that means the crank bar. So what you can do is, if you need to determine the length, first you need to know what is the clear span. Clear span means inside to inside distance, and this is given here, that is 5000 millimeter. Okay, now as this is 5000 millimeter, what is the LD value given here? Up to this distance, this is the LD in the both the sides, right? What I have already shown you in the 3D figure. This is, now this is LD in both the sides. So the total length of this crank bar will be 5000 plus 2 into LD, because in both sides we have the development length. Okay, plus we need to add the extra length for this 45-degree angle. The extra length is given by 0.42 D. And what is D? D is nothing but the distance between the top reinforcement and bottom reinforcement. That means if you make this imaginary line in the top reinforcement and in the bottom reinforcement, this particular distance is D, and definitely it is center to center distance. Okay, so what will be the center to center distance? Because the overall depth is given over here, that is 200. So D will be 200 minus the clear cover of both the sides, that is 25 into 2 minus half dia of both the sides. Now how we can say it is a half dia? Look, if this is the cross section of a beam, and if you have bar diameter in both the sides, so we have 12 millimeter diameter, so diameter of these bars are 12 mm. So we need to determine the center to center distance, right? This is actually the D. So what will be the value of D? Up to this clear cover, this is 25, here it is also 25. Now the diameter of the bar is 12, so definitely we need to deduct half dia over here and half dia over here. That means 2 into 12 by 2. Okay, so in this way the value that we get, most probably it is 138 mm. Okay, you can also calculate this. So this is the D value.
Okay,
so
sir.
you can determine the value of D. So the extra length for this crank portion, that is given by 0.42 D. and we have 2 cranks, so that is why we need to multiply it with the 2. Okay, now you can ask, sir, how this particular value came, that means 0.42D came. Okay, definitely I can also show you. Look here, if you can make this small triangle over here, and this is 45 degree, right? This is 45 degree, and this, in this triangle, this height is D, and consider this length is X, that means the length of the hypotenuse in this particular triangle. So we can write that D by X
Sine
is equal to
45 d by
exactly sine 45
sine
degree.
45.
So D by sine 45 degree
Yes.
is the value of X, and it will be 1.42D. So initially the value is D. So what is the extra length? That will be simple, 0.42D. So in this way this value came. Okay, now if you put all the values, now one thing is remaining over here, that is, second, yes, remaining portion is the deduction for the bend. So here we have 2 numbers of 90-degree bend, that means 1 and 2. 2 numbers of 90-degree bend, these are the 90-degree bend, and we have 45-degree bend, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 numbers of 45-degree bend. So for 90-degree bend, the deduction is 2D, and for 45-degree bend, the deduction is 1D. You can also see in the estimation costing book, it is, the list is given over there also. So we will deduct 2 into 2D minus 1 into 4 into 1D. So ultimately, if you make the calculation, you know all the values, you know the value of LD, you know the value of D also, and the small d is nothing but the diameter of the bar. So diameter of the bar is 12 mm. So after putting all the values,
Sir, please
yes,
স্যার এটা একটু রিপিট করবেন স্যার, ওই 2D
yes,
আর 1D এর কেস
definitely
মিস
Look,
করে গেছি।
2D, that means you can see when I am bending a bar, that means suppose I am having a straight bar. Now when I am bending a bar in such a way, for 90-degree bend we need to deduct for the determination of the crank bar, that is 2D. For 90-degree we need to deduct the value 2D, where 2D is, D is the diameter of the bar. Okay, and for 45-degree
ওকে স্যার,
bend we need to deduct 1D. So here we have 45-degree, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So we have 4
But-
numbers of bend 45 degrees, so that is
4.
why I have deducted 4 into 1D.
Yes, sir.
And for 90-degree we have 2 numbers of angle, so that is why I have deducted 2 into 2D. Okay, so if you put all the values, the overall crank bar length of the
Okay,
crank
sir,
bar
okay,
you
sir.
get, that is 5980. Okay, this is the length of the crank bar. So this is the analytical method how you can calculate the length of the crank bar. So this is a time taken thing, right? So as an engineer, when you go to the site and when you are required to make the bar bending schedule, and when you make a length of the crank bar in taking 10 to 15 minutes time, so it will be very much time taken, right? So that is why we will use the software, and you can see how very in a simplified way we can determine the length of the crank bar as well as the spacing and more details. So we will see in the software. So the development length, you already know, I have already shown this slide. So this is a sample project which is produced by the Revit architecture project, and in Revit architecture you can see this kind of project can be done. Okay, so under Revit there are various parts are there, that means Revit architecture, Revit structure, and various Revit MEP and building information modeling. Many things can be done using the software Revit. But yeah, this is a sample project. This person, you can see this is made by the Photoshop. Okay, this particular diagram is placed over here using the Photoshop. But yeah, except all this, the cars, the building, all the things except this is made with the software Revit architecture. Okay, this is the Revit structure project. So we will do the thing similar to this today, and this particular thing is made with the Revit structure. And this is the building information modeling, which is made by the Revit software. And yeah, this is a very interesting thing. And Autodesk also conducted in each year various competition, that means international competition. So you can participate if you can use this particular software. Okay, so let's open the Revit software. Okay, so this is Revit 2020 version software. It is a student version, and you can get the student version software in free of cost from the Autodesk website. The first thing you need to do is you need to create an account in Autodesk portal, and you need to register yourself as a student, and definitely Autodesk will provide you at least 1 year license key. Previously, it was 3-year license given by the Autodesk company, but currently we are providing 1 year license key. Okay. Now, after you open the Autodesk Revit 2020, firstly, you will get this screen, and here you can see the new option. This is for creating a new project. So I am just clicking on the new, and here you select the type of the template that you need to select. So I am selecting the structural template, then select the project and create OK. Either in this particular template you can import the AutoCAD drawing what you have already drawn, or you can directly make the structural member over here. How? So before starting any kind of project, so we need to first make the grid line first, right? So I'm making the grid line. Here you can see the grids is given. Select the first point, select the second point. The grid is drawn. Very simple. Now if you want to make an offset of 5000 and make another grid line over here, how you can make? Very simple. Look, you just select these peak lines, give here the value of the offset. So I am giving suppose 5000, and just select the line and select the side. You can see in the dotted line the side is shown, so it is done. Okay, the offset value is 5000. Another grid line, if you need to draw in a perpendicular direction of this grid line, how you can draw? Very simple. Select on the modify, then another selection should be done in grid, then select the first point, then the second point, and give the name over here. Nomenclature should be A. So in this way you will get A, B, C, this kind of grid lines in X direction, or we can say Y direction, and another side it will be 1, 2, 3. Now if you want to make another offset, select this one. Similarly, that like we have done in this case, give the offset value 6000, enter. Now you select the line and select the sides. In this way the grid line has been done. Okay, now what you need to do, click on the modify. When you completed any one portion of your designing, you just click on the modify button. Now you go to the structure. Inside the structure you need to add the footing over here. Okay, so you select the isolated footing. Now you just place the footing. Now look, this footing is a rectangular one, right? So I need to change this in a square. How? You go to the edit type. You can see the type is given and also the length is given. So change the length by 1200. This is the thickness and this is the length, so it will be a square one. Now select, apply, and okay. Now it is square. Now select the points where you need to provide the footings. Okay, now when you provide the footings, you also see the level, in which level you are placing the footings. Look, I am placing the footings in level 2, but we need to provide the footing in level 1. So I am just clearing this. Why I have said that we need to provide the footings in level 1, you can click on the elevation Here you can see east, north, south, west. You can click any on the side. So I am selecting the south button. So you can see this is the level 1 and this is level 2. So in this level 1, this is the lowest portion, right? So in the lowest level, we will provide the footing. So select the level 1 and then place the footings. So edit type, okay, it is already created 1200 by 1200 into 450. So select the place. These are the footings. Okay, now footing is done. Click on the modify. Then we need to provide the column over it, right? So click on the column isolated. Then you place where you need to provide the column. I think I have not selected the column. This is the column. Okay. Now by default, it is column is selected ISMB 300. Okay, this is the I section. So I need to select a concrete column that is not 300 by 450. I will change this. So I will change here edit type, and here I will provide 300. 300 by 300 column. Apply and OK. So you select here height, and it should be up to level 2, right? From level 1 to level 2, that is the height of the column. Now you place the columns in those places. To zoom in and zoom out, I am only using the mouse scroll. Okay, and for panning, I am just clicking on the scroll button. When you press on the scroll button, you can pan, and for zoom in and zoom out, you can use the scroll button. Sorry, only scroll. Now look, our column is placed. Now to check that, you can see here is a 3D view. Just click over here and look here, our column has been done. Now what you need to do is you need to make the beams. How you can make? Look, the beam is in level 2, right? This is the level 2. So you just go to the level 2 and here you create the beams. How you can create? These are the beams. So by default the beam is ISMB 300. So select 300 cross 600. I am selecting this. You can select as per your requirement. So I am just connecting the beams. Look, all the beams has been created. If you want to check, just click on the 3D view and the beam has been created. Now if you want to see the realistic view, you just click here. You can see the realistic view. So this is the thing what you have already made. Okay, so very simple one up to this. So same thing if you need to draw in AutoCAD, this is very much difficult compared to this Revit software, right? Now what you need to do is you need to make the bar bending schedule. For that, what you will do is you just select the foundation, okay, and all the structural members. So I am selecting the structural member one by one. So first I am selecting the foundation, the isolated footing. Then I will provide the cover. How you can provide the cover? You already know in beam, in column, there are some covers are provided, right? So I am selecting the structure and cover. Under cover, you select the structural member. So I am selecting the footing, and then I will provide the cover, that is 50 mm. So it is done. Now select the column and select the cover 45 mm. You can provide as per your design. Select the beam, select the cover. I am providing a 30 mm, and here I am also providing 30 mm. Okay. Now you change the view. I am changing to the elevation, that means from the south, and here I am the cover is creation is already done. Now select the structural member over here. Now here you can see the rebar. Now select the rebar. So okay. Now which type of cover? You can see rebar shape browser. So in which shape you need to provide here? I will provide here this shape. Okay. So after you select this thing, you need to select here also. So the placement, where you need to place. So I am selecting this one, near cover reference. Okay. So just here you just make move your mouse, and you can see this kind of shape is came, and you just click here. Okay, it is done in the top portion also. Okay, now when the placing is done, now you select on the modify. So it is completed. Now if you see the 3D view, it is not visible, right? So to see, you need to make it transparent. How you can make this concrete transparent? Select this. Okay, select this and right click, then override graphics in view, then by element. Then surface transparency, you select this as 80% or 60%. Apply and okay. Now you can see the rebar is visible. So you select single one rebar and you select this one. That means the layout of the rebar. So this rebar should be placed at a particular spacing that is already provided. So I am selecting here maximum spacing. So the spacing, the maximum spacing that I am giving here, that is 150. By default it is 100. Consider I am giving here 150. Okay, done. Same thing for the top portion also, and I am also changing the color also. Okay, so to change the color, you select this same thing by element, and the projection lines, and here is the color. So I am giving the color over here, that is this one. So apply and okay. So it is done. Same thing I will do for the top bar also. So select this bar. You can see this is selected. Now select this one and maximum spacing. So I am giving the same value 150 and enter. And if you want to change the color, same thing by element, and the color is same one. I think this one. Okay, done. Now we need to see, suppose this is X direction, so we need to put the bars in Y direction. How? Okay, then go to the level 1. So these are the bars in the consider it is X direction. So we need to create a section. Okay, how will create a section? This is the symbol section. Select this, select first point, select second point. Section creation is done. Very simple. Now when you make a section, there is a new option came here, this one, section. Now click here and section 1. Under section 1, you will see the sectional view of that particular portion. Now same thing you need to do. You need to select the isolated footing, then select rebar, and which kind of rebar? Same kind of rebar, but the placement should be different. It is inside current work plane. So select work plane and you just place the bars in the similar way that you have already provided. Two side we have provided. Now select the modify, then go to the 3D view. Let's check. Look, it is placed, right? Now just click on the bar, and in keyboard you just click the arrow button to make it some elevation. Same case for this one also. Select this and make some elevation. Okay, it is done. Now you need to make the spacing. That means you need to provide the same rebars in a particular spacing. So you select both of these two, select this one, select the maximum spacing and select the value. Consider this is 150. Oh, I have provided 15, so select here 150 and now it is done. Also you can change the color, just right click on it and here you can buy element and the project line, and the color should be, suppose this one is green, or you can see this color. Now it is done. Now we need to provide the reinforcement on the column. Okay, so how we can make the reinforcement in the column? So for that we need to make the column also transparent. So click on the column, right click, override graphics in view, then by element, then transparency. So I am making 60% transparent. Okay, so it has become also transparent. Let's make the beam also transparent. By element. So if you make that transparent, so you can see the rebars inside the structural member. So that is why we will make it transparent. Okay, done. Now let's change the view. So this is the column. So we'll provide the rebar. Look, the lines are very thick, right? So if you want to make a single line view, you just click here, thin lines. So it will look like this. Okay. Now you need to provide the bars in the column. So you select the column. Likewise, we have selected previously. Then select rebars. Then select the type of bar you need to provide. So this type of bar we will provide. And then you select the placement where you need to place. So I am selecting the near cover. And yes, it is placed. You just move your mouse and you can place the rebars. So it is placed, right? But here you can see the length of the bar is up to this distance only, but we need to provide this up to the bottom reinforcement, right? So I have provided here. Also same thing provided here. Now you need to make a bend, right? So to make the bend, you select this rebar. You should bend it like this, na, 90 degree. Select this and select here edit sketch. Then add a line. Okay, add a line. Then select the end point and select the length up to how much distance you need to go. So I am giving 300 value. So it is done. So now select done. Same thing you need to do or here also, edit sketch, select the line, add here. That means the value is 300. So yes, it is done. So let's see the 3D view. Let's change the thickness. Okay. So here you can see the bars we have provided, which is coming from the column. There is only 2 numbers of bar, but we need to provide the same bars in an opposite direction also. So let's make the mirror image of these two bars. So for that, we just go to this elevation view. So from the elevation view, let's make the mirror of these 2 bars. So select this one and control, by pressing the control, select these 2 bars and then go to the top view, level 1, and then just make the thin lines by clicking here. Now you need to select another time because it is deselected. Okay, now these 2 bars are selected. Now make the mirror. This is the option. Now select the mirror line. This is the mirror line. Okay, so it is done. Now you can check in 3D view. So you can see all the bars has been placed for the column, right? So now we'll provide the ties. Okay, so in column we provide the ties, and in beam we provide the stirrup. Okay, so let's go to the elevation view. Now choose the column, because in column we need to provide the ties, right? Now select rebar, select the shape. So this is the shape. Select the bars. So just select, but yeah, when you selecting this one, you need to select in what is the placement. So this is the placement parallel to cover. Okay, and yeah, now you just select this one. Now it is select. Look, the rebar is properly placed. After you place one rebar, you just click on the modify, select the rebar, and you give the spacing. So I am just giving the spacing. The spacing value I am providing over here, by default it is 100. Consider I am spacing 250 or 200. So 200 spacing is done. Okay, so very simple. Now if you see the 3D view, look, this portion is completed. So look, the the detailing of the column and the isolated footing is clearly done. Now you can go to the elevation view, and if you need to know the detail, what you can do is you go to the view menu, and here you can see the call out. You just click on the call out and select here detail. Now when you click the detail, you need to select a particular portion. So I am selecting this portion. Okay, so in this particular portion, if you need to tag something, you just go to the annotate menu, click on the tag by category, select the structural member for which you need to tag. So suppose this one, that means the isolated footing, the dimension of the isolated footing is 1800 1200 into 450. Look, this is not the correct one. Why it is not correct? Because we have changed this value 1800. This is actually the title which is showing. We can change this. How? Go to the here, select this select it 300 cross 300, right? Done. So if you tag the column also, just click here 300 cross 300 mm. So it is updated. Similarly, you just change it in freehand, so it will be very easier to place these tags. Now go to the annotate menu and tag by category. Now give the select the bars. So I am selecting this bar. So the diameter of the bar is 10 mm. Okay, now if you need to show the spacing also, what you need to do is select this one and edit type, select here type and spacing, and you can also make the arrow 30°, apply and OK. So here you can see it is given in a proper way, in dia at the rate 150 mm center to center. So we have provided the spacing 150 mm, right? And you can see the arrow is also given here. So in this way you can place the tags before printing on a particular location of the structural member by using the call out option. Okay, so very simple. So after you do this thing, after that, what you need to do is you need to make the scheduling. That is the main thing in bar bending schedule. So for that, what you need to do, so we have completed the 90% of the bar bending schedule of column as well as the isolated footing also. Okay, but previously in analytical method, I have shown you to determine the length of single cutting length of a bar. It takes at least 15 to 20 minutes, right? So the same thing for the total column and the slab is done only 15 to 20 minutes. So that is why it is very much easier process to determine the bar bending schedule using the Revit software. Okay, and if you know the Revit software, and I will definitely assure you, at least every architectural firm, they actually need at least one specialist who is expert in this software Revit. Okay, so now we need to make the final part, that is the scheduling. Okay, so very interesting. For that we just need one single click. Okay, so just go to the view, and in the view you have the scheduling. Now where you have the scheduling? Here. Okay, so after here the scheduling, you just select the schedule. Now I'm not saving the project. Now for which thing you need to make the schedule? Suppose we have used the rebars, right? We have used here rebars. So let's see what is the detailing of the rebars, schedule of the rebars. So I am still selecting the structural rebar, then OK. Then what are the details that you need to show? So I am selecting the assembly name, the assembly code, assembly description, bar diameter, bar length, bend diameter, the count. I have deselected this count. Then you can select multiple things using the control button. Not deformation, description, the manufacturer, the material, mark, maximum and minimum bar length, the quantity, most important, quantity by rebar set, the rebar number, reinforcement volume, schedule mark, shape, spacing, style, total bar length, height mark. So these are the detail I need to show. Okay, so if you need to show more thing, you can select more than these values, geometry also. So now you press this button, add parameters. Now select OK. Look, we have get many datas which will take a huge time to calculate in analytical method, but you can see we have analyzed all the data, at least maximum data. Those data which are not given here, that means those data actually we have not provided to the computers. That is why they can't provide us. You just delete this. Those which are not given, the mark, the manufacturer, description is not given, so that is why it has not given us the output. You can put these data also. Now mainly focus what we need, actually we need the bar length, because if you need to cut the bar, you need to know what is the length of a single river, right? The diameter of the bar. Now the minimum and maximum length is also there, the quantity by river, and the reinforcement volume. The very important thing, the reinforcement volume. So this thing we have already calculated. So if you know the volume, you can, if you know the rate also, you can get the total cost, right? And these are the shapes, these are the points 1E, 1E, and 3A, 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 6A. So this is the schedule that we have made using the Autodesk Revit software. So I think it is very much helpful for you also. You can use the software in future. There are various benefits of the software I will show later on. Okay, so thank you. I am just stop sharing.
So the software one was the best.
Is my screen still visible? Okay, okay, okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Now I just want
No, sir.
just I want to ask you that which is better? Means is the analytical method is better or the software is better? What do you think?
Software is better, sir.
Why?
Sir, it is more easy.
Exactly, it is more easier, and also apart from this, also it is not very much time taking compared to the analytical methods. And in a very small time, you can calculate. You can make the calculation of a huge structure. So that is why I think it is more preferable compared to the analytical method. Any others?
No, sir. No, no.
Okay.
No, sir. No doubt.
So that is the all thing that I want to share all of with you. So I have just shown you the what is the analytical method of bar bending schedule, and also the how you can using the software we can make the bar bending schedule. So this is the total thing that I want to share with all of you and I have already recorded all the sessions. So if like Shahana, you have said that the video quality may be not very much good, so you can it will be uploaded and you can see the video later on. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And also I can show you that how you can download the software of AutoCAD 2020 in free. You just want to make a student version student account under Autodesk website. You just go to the Autodesk, you just Google it, the Autodesk or free version of Autodesk AutoCAD student version, and you just sign up on the Autodesk website. And after when you sign up, you will get the serial number and the activation key for the software, which is available for 3 years. Currently it is 1 year, I think. Previously it is the license is for 3 years, but currently they have decreased the length, that means the duration. So it is currently 1 year license. So you can download the version, that is the updated version of Autodesk product, that means it is Revit, and you can try. I hope it is very much beneficial to all of you, because in this current market situation, software is the main thing. Okay, you can't able to go to the site in this current pandemic situation. So I think if you use this type of software, not only this Revit only, there are various software like I will in the next webinar, I think I can show you the StatPro software. I will show you the basic designing of a building, and so this much I want to share with all of you. Okay, so thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
sir.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
I have shown you both in analytically as well as in the software.